Welcome, everyone, to the 36th episode of the Perfectly Imperfect Spiritual Podcast. As you know, probably or not, I'm your host, Marta, and I'm so excited about today's episode because we have an incredible guest with us. My guest today is Maria. She's an intuitive manifestation and mindset coach, helping powerful, driven leaders become their own best healers and create lives they truly love. From experiencing a mental health low at 27 to completely changing her life, Maria knows how tough it can be to feel crap. But you get to change and choose again. Welcome, Maria, to the podcast. I am so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm really excited to jump into this conversation today.
Thank you. I'm very excited. And as you guys know, or maybe if you're new, you'll not know, it's completely unscripted. So we'll see where that conversation takes us. And I've pulled some cards as well uh, that would support our conversation. And I was so much drawn to my mentor's deck. It's the African Goddess Rising Oracle by Abiola Abrams, which really tells me as well that there is that importance of your work with the divine feminine, or like definitely like supporting women in terms of this keeps coming. So I feel like I would like to start by you introducing yourself, like who is Maria out of like what you do in terms of your purpose, and then like maybe who was Maria when she was that 27 years old. Let's
Yeah,
start maybe from
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. So, to everyone listening, my name is Maria. I sometimes go by Maria Therese as well, which is my middle name. And I'm intuitive and literally learning to read intuition. It changed my life. It started this whole massive spiritual journey. I was the most logical of all logic. I worked in a history department for 11 years, teaching history, managing a history department. Anyone knowing anything about history, it's very logical, it's very fact based, it's very evidence based, it's very much in your kind of masculine. And the job that I was doing was very like hustle. And I was just living on this hamster wheel when I was 27, living on this hamster wheel, really craving love, like love from men. I just wanted it so badly because I didn't love myself. And maybe those listening can resonate to it. And it was when I hit an all-time low that I was like, hold on, there has to be a different way. There was no choice. I'd hit, and maybe again, this resonates with people listening, I'd hit like the most of the pain, the rock bottom. And when you hit rock bottom, you don't have enough choice. Like you have to change. And so I got to this stage where I was like, well, I have to change now because if I don't change, I'm not going to be here next year. And I want
Mm.
to be here next year. And it was starting a spiritual journey, learning to manifest, which is creation, like learning to create. And this is healing. And sometimes I think online people are like, oh, just manifest, just hope and wish and la di da. And that's not how manifestation works. Manifestation is healing. It's peeling back the onion. It's learning to love your anger. It's learning to love all these emotions that you have and stepping into your power. And it was through this journey, this exploration journey, that I am where I am now. Um, Learning to like I trained my intuition, and everybody can train their intuition. Everybody has it. And when you train it at a scientific level, like it's mind-blowingly crazy. And now I help clients to become their own best healers. And I think this is the most powerful gift you can give yourself, is to have the toolkit when times get tough, because we're humans and therefore we are going to get obstacles. Our higher self leads us to these obstacles. We're going to get them. If you have the toolkit to manage, to shift, to move forward, that's the most important gift that you can give yourself. And that's why I do what I do. And apart from like my mission, my soul pull, my soul purpose, I'm a dog mum to three beautiful, and I mean crazy dogs. Like
Uh-huh.
we've just got a new puppy. One of them is crazy. I travel. We try and get away, me and my husband, 5 times a year if we can. Happily married. And I'm still manifesting so many incredible things. Still manifesting. I don't have children. I'd love children. Um, and a forever location. We haven't decided on where we want to forever live, but it's not where we are now. We know that much.
Uh-huh.
So that's like, I went a long way round. That's my story.
Okay. No, thank you so much. Are you able to share with the viewers and listeners how did you become that best healer for yourself? Like, did you have a realization? Because I know you're very intuitive. So did you have a thought? Did you communicate like with your spirit guides or maybe angels, or like did the universe put someone influential on your path? Like how did you come across an idea that you can actually have a different life, that you can develop your intuition? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you know what? When I wasn't spiritual at this point, I was brought up in a Roman Catholic household. So we'd always been religious, but I hadn't gone to church for years and years. And I always believed in something, but I didn't know what. And when I was 27 and hit that all-time low, I wasn't connecting with spirit guides. I wasn't open to the universe. Didn't even know really, I knew there was a universe, but I didn't know I held power. I knew nothing about energy. Was just like living life day by day. And I remember I was sat on the bed in my ex-boyfriend's bed, and it was in that moment I was like, something has to change. It was just a knowing inside that I couldn't keep doing what I was doing. I couldn't keep numbing the pain of being around this person and drinking like crazy
Hmm.
and being lied to. And at that stage, I didn't know that I created my life. I didn't know that I created the whole situation that I was in.
Hmm.
So unaware of it. It was just like in that moment and knowing like, Maria, something needs to change. Whether it was a feeling, a thought, and now looking back, it was like God, source, spirit, whatever you believe in, whatever you call higher
Hmm.
power, leading me. But at the time, I was just like, okay, something has to change. And then it didn't change instantaneously. It took ages, and it
Hmm.
was a journey. And I think this is what people want. They want the dopamine hit. They want the change. Like, yes, I'm now this and I'm now that. And
Hmm.
that is not how it works. It's a journey, and it's step by step by step, and creating the new habits and peeling back the layers. And also, higher self is not going to show you everything you need in one time, because if it did, you'd be like, well, I can't cope with this. So it's healing is like a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and it's a lifelong journey. And so no, there was no, at the time I was not aware of anything spiritual. I just, on a logical human level, was like, well, I don't want to live like this, so I
Hmm.
need to change. And I think for those that are not spiritual, when you get to that stage, then you will probably start exploring spirituality, because it opens up doors that there is so much more than just us living this physical human reality.
Hmm. I love it. Uh, can you mention, well, I have various questions here in my mind, but like, could you mention a little bit about, because that's so important, that we create our life, we create our reality. I'm curious about the importance of, like the self-image, the doing our inner work, and how the external maybe reflects back, because I think it's something that so many people are not aware of.
Yeah, 100%. So around us, we have an electromagnetic field. Our thoughts have an electric signal. So the more you think a thought, the bigger the electric signal gets. Our heart has its own brain, and our heart is a literal magnet, magnetizing things to us. Your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your actions are then broadcast out through your electromagnetic field to like subatomic particle matter, and then reflected back are opportunities, circumstances, and people. So when you get triggered by people, or when you feel a big emotion, that is what I call a reflection. And that is an invitation to go inwards, because there's going to be some growth here. Anytime, say, for example, you think your partner is ignoring you. And I'll use an example for my life. Before I met my husband, I was dating somebody. They literally ignored me for months on end. And I was like, well, why are they ignoring me? Knowing what I know now, they were ignoring me because I was ignoring myself. And because
Hmm.
I was ignoring myself, they weren't going to give me the attention, because I didn't see myself as valuable. I didn't see that I really loved myself. And so, however you are feeling, I want you to throw the emotion back on yourself. If you feel frustrated, angry, ignored, ask yourself, where am I treating myself like this, and in what area of life? Because maybe it's in your career, maybe it's in your relationship, maybe it's with your body. You're beating yourself up every single day with your body. So in your career, nobody is seeing how amazing you are, because you're not seeing how amazing you are physically. And wherever you think the problem is in your life, it's never in that area of life, it's always in another. So people come to me like with business issues. The issue is not in business. The issue is that they don't like the way they look. The issue is that their relationship is going to like is,
Mhm.
can I swear on here?
Sorry, yes, yeah.
Oh, it's going to the shitters. I wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah,
ask because I do want to swear and then be
oh
like,
no, no,
oh,
no. Yeah, yeah, I normally do swear as well. I haven't, I think, done it on a podcast, but yeah, this is like unscripted and like, yeah, yeah, you just be you. Like, I want you to
okay,
be the most authentic. Go for it. Yeah.
amazing. So, like the relationship is going to the shitters, that's impacting their business. And so, when you realize that your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, beliefs are creating everything around you, and attracting back to you what you think and feel about yourself, you realize, hold on, I can change how I think, I can change how I feel. It's not easy. And it takes constant work to reprogram the subconscious mind. But your subconscious mind is governing 95% of what you do. This is where the journey begins. And every level that you get to, I'm sure people have heard it described as a video game, but every level, you're going to get beliefs that crop up and you're going to have to heal them to get to the next level. And healing them doesn't mean you're always going to have a regulated nervous system. Because
Hmm.
anytime you're doing something new and getting to a new level, guess what? It's going to feel uncomfortable. So
Hmm.
that's not going to feel good in your body. That's not going to feel good in your nervous system. And so many people talk about, oh, I want to regulate my nervous system, feel really comfortable. Okay, great. But that's not going to get you to the next level if that's where you want to go. If you don't want to go there, that's perfect. But if you want to go to the next level in your business or career or something, you're going to feel uncomfortable as you get to that level, and then you can regulate it out. But being comfortable your whole life is not going to get you the growth that you want. And when you're aware of this, you realize actually some discomfort is good. It's a challenge, it pushes you to
Hmm.
where you want to go to.
I love it. And then I've just had a thought as well because it's very important what you're saying. And I think it can help also people who are actually like very spiritual, but are not aware of the importance of doing your inner work and the importance and the power of subconscious and unconscious mind. So would you be able to talk a little bit? Because I know many people believe like we come here on earth, we've got various life lessons we have to learn. So I'm just going to wait for those life lessons and for various scenarios to play. But like, I feel by you mentioning about the subconscious, unconscious mind and the work that you can do, it gives, I think, individuals, for me at least, I feel like hope and like almost like power that you do not have to just wait for the universe to bring you those life lessons, that you can actually like change and do certain things. I'm curious about that because I know so many people who are like into spirituality would just assume whatever is meant to happen, whatever, like, yeah, I'm just going to let those things happen without me doing anything. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is a big spiritual myth in the spiritual world is that
Yeah.
just trust the universe, trust God, trust source, and it will all work out for you. Amazing, but God's
Mm.
gave us free will. And therefore, because we have free will, we have to take action. You need 100% physical and 100% energetic to create, bring your
Yeah.
manifestation, whatever it is, into your world. And therefore, yeah, you can sit around hoping, waiting, wishing, but all that's going to attract is more hoping, waiting, wishing. When you want something, it suggests to your subconscious you do not have it. So you're going to attract more wanting of it. You're not actually ever going to get it. And this is what I think most people are doing when they're creating. They're going, I really want this. I really desire this. But they're not embodying the person who would already have it. How would they think? How would they feel? How would they show up? And that can be really hard, especially when it comes to money, because a lot of spiritual people think it's greedy to have more money and they should be helping the whole
Mm.
the wide world with their gifts, but not being compensated for it. But your energy is the most precious gift you have. And so if you're
Yeah.
an energy healer, you need to be paid for it so you can give and you can protect your energy and you can share this gift with the world. And I think a lot of it comes from like biblical books and various different scripts and texts that it's greedy, and it's not greedy to have money, because money is simply neutral. Money is a neutral resource. If it's a neutral resource and you can do amazing things with it, the more you have, the better, and the more impact you can actually have on people and share your gifts with them. Well, that's amazing. But in the subconscious mind, if you've been brought up and you hear your caregivers talking about like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, all these rich people do this, all these
Mhm.
things that people say about money, you're going to therefore find that you're going to self-sabotage your abilities to take action to make more money, because Yes, on an energetic level, you need to be in the frequency and vibration of money, but you also have to physically take the action to create whatever it is that you want to create. But if you don't believe that you're worthy and deserving, and this is just an example with money, but money is a symptom of a deeper cause. And it always goes back to not feeling good enough, not feeling deserving, not feeling worthy of the desires that you want. And that's where the subconscious mind is going to block you. And that's where the subconscious is going to go, oh, you know that, say, for example, business, you want to post content in your business to share your amazing ideas. But when you were a child, you were bullied. Well,
Mm-hmm.
now data's being misprocessed as it's coming in through the senses, and your body is going to act like that 6-year-old version of you that was bullied, that froze up, that couldn't do anything. And now you
Mm-hmm.
go to post your content, you freeze. And that's not a useful reaction because you're not going to be able to get what you want. So there are a couple of examples, but the subconscious is such a powerful part that if you're not doing the subconscious reprogramming, and that will naturally shift your energy, and you're not doing, let me rephrase, manifesting or creating is the energetic, the subconscious, and the
Mm-hmm.
nervous system regulation all kind of put in this mixing pot, mixed all together. That's how you're going to move forward. That's how you're going to create what you desire in your life. I went on a long tangent there. I can do this. Please tell me to be like, Maria, shut up, you're talking
No,
too
no, no,
much.
no. No. There's never too much here. And I love it because, like, you'll not be surprised, but one of the cards, which is in a position of heart space for today's conversation, is scarcity, which talks about that mindset of people, like, really um, feeling that they don't have enough of money. So you've already mentioned about that, but I truly believe, like, well, it's not a coincidence that I pulled that card because there is that stigma, like, yeah, I should not be charging, I should not have enough of money. And I've got so many clients as well, students who don't want to charge money, and but then, like, they realize that people pay for all other services, and then they come to terms like, why can't I be compensated, what you're saying, for the energy work and for the transformation that I bring. um I want to tie this with the other card that I've got, the third card that I put, which is in a position of challenge. We have the naked card. And this card really talks about the importance of people becoming vulnerable, vulnerable with themselves, and vulnerable and honest and the most authentic to the world. And I've just opened, normally I just don't read anything, but I think it's so important. There, it says here, hide no more. The emotional nakedness you avoid is your superpower, not your shame. Goddess declaration, I have the courage to be vulnerable. So I'm curious whether you could, well, could you expand a little bit about that? Because I think it's so important.
Yeah, 100%. It's the hardest thing to do, isn't it? To be emotionally vulnerable, to give yourself time just to feel your emotions. I'll give you an example from my life. Yesterday, yesterday morning, we've got a new puppy. The puppy is gorgeous, but she's crazy. And every morning she wakes up by jumping on us and smacking us in the head. And accidentally, she doesn't mean to.
Mm-hmm.
It means the mornings are not starting out in the best way possible. And then
Mm-hmm.
we went on our morning walk yesterday, and then ended up, me and my husband ended up, we don't argue, it's not something we do, but we ended up arguing over the puppy. And then all these emotions came out. And then the rest of the day, I felt exceedingly emotional. I was training in the gym, and like it was bringing up all these emotions that were stored in my body that I hadn't processed. And it was a really, really intense day. I called it my emotional day because there was just so much coming up, and it's really hard. I don't know if anyone listening or with yourself you resonate with this, is sometimes I find that you can end up beating yourself up. Oh, I shouldn't be feeling this. Oh no, like this is not something I want to be feeling. But actually your higher self is leading you to all these lessons. What happened yesterday was perfect because it's deepened our relationship. We've got this whole new vulnerability and honesty among ourselves. And also, I processed a lot of unprocessed things I didn't even know I was holding on to yesterday. And that is going to happen as you go on this spiritual journey. And that's going to happen as you open up to new levels of what you're capable of, because we're completely limitless. If we think about it, we are like 99.99999% just vibrating atoms and particles and energy, and so we can do anything. And when you connect to the quantum field and you visualize and you feel emotionally feel what you desire, over time that's going to start to bring it into your reality. And so to be emotionally vulnerable is such a superpower, and it's so hard to do because we're being conditioned by the world. Don't show emotions, you're too sensitive, you're too much. But actually, so many spiritual people are so empathetic. They've got all these emotions, and you feel other people's emotions. And so it's really, really important to allow yourself to feel them, to allow yourself, if you have a business and you're going online, to be vulnerable with your partner. This is how communication happens. This is how you grow. But to also know that it's okay. It's okay to feel. Like if for a month you're just crying every day and you're not moving forward, then I would absolutely go get some support, because there's
Mm-hmm.
feeling and there's allowing yourself to feel it and still moving forward, still taking the action, but giving yourself grace, being kind to yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that's really, really hard. I know I can be really self-critical of myself, and I have to really give myself grace and be like, you're doing enough. Like, you are so valuable. You're amazing as you are. You're the best of the best at what you do, not in an ego place, but from a soul place, in
Mm-hmm.
rooting to how amazing you are.
Mm-hmm. I love it. And I had a very challenging day yesterday, not a coincidence. And I had a migraine yesterday. I haven't had it in months, but every time I am too critical of myself, every time when I feel too much, and then like so much was going on yesterday, and I could feel emotions of so many people. And I didn't go to the gym because it was my rest day. And normally I'm in my routine of moving my energy, but I still try and really like feel. But yesterday I just made that choice that it was too much. But I wasn't very kind to myself, and that's why it manifested in a migraine. So this morning I needed that painkiller that I have not been taken for months. But I think I'm at, yeah, it just definitely works for me as well every day when I'm like kind and I keep reminding myself that I'm doing the best, that the situation is just like perfect, but also I allow myself to feel things and those emotions almost like to pass through me, then I'm not getting those physical manifestations. So yeah.
And that's so powerful, like, because our bodies, when we're not listening to our emotions or listening to what's going on underneath, our bodies are like, well, I'm going to manifest it and I'm going to show you, so you actually listen. And that is like the emotional root cause, like you mentioned, of any headache, migraines, is beating yourself up, is pressure. Every wrinkle has an emotional root cause. Every part of the body has an emotional root cause. So, for example, if you're getting any knee pain, your knees are there because they are like flexibility. So say for
Hmm.
example you're getting pain in your knees as you're walking, you're being really inflexible in moving forward in life. Like, every single part of the body tells a story, and every story it tells is helping you to get to whatever the emotional root cause is, and allow yourself, just in awareness of acknowledging it, allows it to start to pass through the body. And like exercise, moving your body, getting out in nature, meditating, all of these things helps you to start to release these emotions. So I love that example. And I know so many people yesterday that were really having a tough day.
Hmm. Yes. And then I'm curious, like, could you tell a little bit, because I think it's so important also, because I know like Holly Finucane, she recommended me to really interview you. I worked with Holly to reprogram my unconscious, subconscious mind. I interviewed her for my podcast, but then I was like really drawn. I always invest in various mentors. But I think it's like so important as well to mention that you can give yourself those examples of how things work perfectly in your life. So in terms of, so I'm curious about that because I think like so many people would not be aware that you can, how you create your reality and how you actually can like change the reality by the focus.
Yeah, 100%. So the law of focus is where you focus your like brain, is where your energy is going to go. So if you're focusing on lack and all the negatives, you're going to find lack and negatives, and you're not going to find the opportunities that you desire. And that's why it's really important in times where you get triggered, these reflections happen. How can you find the perfection in them? And I know people probably listen like, well, how can I find the perfection in them? Like, it was so hard. The argument with my husband, this is not something we don't normally argue. And so the perfection in that was it's deepened our connection, it's deepened our love for each other. And now he's going to support me more with training the dog. So I feel like this release. And something crazy yesterday when we had this argument is in the right side of my mid, like just above my mid back by my shoulder, I got this agonizing pain. And that was caused because I felt like he wasn't supporting me with, especially with the dog. And through intuition, you can read into these pains and work out what the reflections are.
Mm-hmm.
Today it's gone. It's gone because I processed the emotions yesterday. I don't have any pain where it was yesterday. And that was my body physically saying to me, you need support. And it was with the dog. You need support with training the dog. Do it together, and it's going to deepen your relationship. Hey, guess what? That's going to help in my business. That's going to help in other areas of my life. And so, in these moments where things feel really hard, in these moments where you're getting obstacles come, maybe in your business, you're not getting any clients. Okay, why is this perfect for you? Why is it perfect you're not making any money? Well, it's perfect I'm not making any money because now I can get better at my messaging. Well, now I've got more space. And hey, guess what? I wanted to organize my house. So I can organize my house. And now I needed to slow down and meditate more. So now I've got the space to do it. And so then you take that negative and you see the perfection in what is a negative situation. And then you realize, oh, wow, like actually, there's a lot of good that came from this. And my higher self, which is your highest frequency potential in this lifetime, has led me to this. And your higher self will lead you to these lessons so that you learn these lessons so that you create what you want. And when we talk about like manifestation or creating, you can speed up timelines by feeling the emotions of what you want to feel now. And so, with the work I do with intuition, and as an intuitive, and when I read people, I will go into their creative field, which is what you think and feel about yourself. I will go into their higher self field, which is highest frequency potential, like your higher self knows everything you're going to do in the future. And I go into their soul field and like your soul pull, your soul plan, and the lessons that you need to learn. And I will pull out emotional ingredients that they need to bypass particular lessons that they can speed up and learn so that they can bring what they want to create into their lives a lot quicker. And just an example of like a story, because this blew my mind that it happened so quick.
Mm-hmm.
A lady came to me and she wanted to breastfeed, and her breast milk was drying up. And we did an intuitive session. And 2 days later, she was like, oh my God, my breast milk has started again. And my jaw hit the floor with that. Like, I know the work is amazing, but also the physical body is holding on to so much underneath. And when you can energetically release it, subconsciously release it, you can start creating. Like, it's, for example, there's such a massive thing at the minute with infertility. And
Mm-hmm.
so many more women are finding it harder to get pregnant. And the emotional root cause of that is that they're not on their soul pull and soul path, and they're ignoring what their soul wants. So, because they're ignoring what their soul wants, it's making it harder to create. Well, naturally, when you want to get pregnant, it's creation. And so it's just really, really interesting how there's always the energetic, there's always the emotional to everything, which society bypasses because society goes, go get a drug, go do something for the after effects, but never looking at the cause. And that's where I think like the work that you do is so powerful, because you can, like, being a psychic is an incredible gift. And you can help people by reading what they can't read in themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Um, I know the best way to change your life if you're like completely new to it is to find a person like you who specializes this in it. But if someone wanted to start something on their own, could you give any simple tips so they can see for themselves like how it works, and then maybe they will get converted and then they'll seek more support or learn about it?
Absolutely. I think the first thing is just to become aware of like what is going on in your life. Just grab your journal out and just write down in different areas of your life, your career, your finance, your relationships, spiritual journey, hobbies, your mental, physical health. What is going on? And if you're going to rate it out of 10, 10 out of 10 being like, I've got this is amazing, I feel really happy and fulfilled, what would you rate each section of it? And when you
Mm-hmm.
write each section of it, get really curious and honest about it. Like, what is not where you want it to be? Because you have to acknowledge the lack to be able to move forward from it.
Yes.
So, what is going on? What is Why is it not what you want it to be? Literally journal every single thing down. That's the awareness. Now you've created
Mm-hmm.
the awareness, pick one or two areas. Don't try and do them all at once.
Mm-hmm.
One or two areas you want to change. Let's say, for example, you want to pick finance. So then you want to make more money. So start to then look at, okay, I want to make more money, but everything that comes up after the but is a limiting belief, and write them down.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're aware of these limits and these limiting beliefs. Now you can start to go, okay, amazing. How could I shift that? So if you think I'm not deserving of making more money, okay, what evidence is true? Like, what proves this is true? And there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing. You're going to really struggle to find evidence. And so that is not the ultimate truth. Everything you've put there is not the ultimate truth. So ask yourself, is this the ultimate truth? And then you can go, okay, let me start to reframe this. Let me start to shift this. What if I played with the idea? Like, imagine trying on clothes in a wardrobe. What if I played with the idea that money gets to flow to me? And what if I played with the idea the more I focused on my health, or the more I focused on feeling good, the more money that came to me? Okay, that's interesting. What if I played with this idea? And then what you want to do with this idea is every single morning, if you can, and every single evening, because your subconscious mind is the most receptive. And this is because normally during the day when we're focused, our brain is in delta and brainwave state. Whereas in the evening, we go from delta to alpha to theta to beta, theta to delta. So when you're in the theta delta brainwave state, this is when you can access the subconscious. This kind of barrier goes down.
Mm-hmm.
So what if in the morning and the evening you started to just go on YouTube and get meditation? Go on YouTube, get a free meditation, started to meditate and started to visualize and feel that money feels good to come to you and that you're capable of making more money. Or maybe it's your body, that you're healthy, and start to visualize this. And as you start to visualize it, you have to feel it though. As you start to visualize, as you start to feel it, you're going to start to see shifts in your life. And you can do that completely free, completely literally take this and see massive shifts from just creating awareness, starting to shift the ideas, play around with them. Don't say, I definitely want this. Just, wouldn't it be interesting if this came true? Get curious, play around with it, and start to feel it. Start to visualize that version of you. Start to write down in your journal, how would that version of me think? How would they feel? What would they be doing today? So for example, this morning I went to a coffee shop and I worked from a coffee shop because my higher self has the freedom to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I embody her. And that is what we mean by embodiment. Like, how would that version of you show up? Now, I know people are going to say, yeah, but I haven't got the money. And that higher version of me would be going on holidays and buying all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That higher version of you would not be spending money they did not have. Like, they just wouldn't. I don't care what anyone tells you online, they wouldn't. What that higher version of you would be doing is putting money into their soul account. I like to call the savings the soul account. And you put in you first. When you put money, the first thing you do when you get paid, however you get paid, you put money into your soul account. You are saying, I am important. I am so important. I'm putting me first. You put it in your savings. Then you can, like, however you manage your money, you manage your money. And then you could go, oh, I have more this month. I really wanted to get a massage. My higher version would get that massage, or my higher version would go for a walk, or my higher version would get the coffee. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be, I'm going to book a 10 grand holiday that I can't afford, because your higher version wouldn't do that. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes online, I read advice of like, oh, just buy this and buy this and buy this because your higher version will do that. But then suddenly you'll be stressing about it. And that is the opposite of what you want to be doing. So get curious, step into that version of you, little shifts every day, little habits, little shifts every day. And you'll start to see shifts and you'll start to see changes, but don't expect it to change overnight. It can
Mm-hmm.
take time, and that's okay. That's where consistency comes in.
Mm-hmm. Could you talk, because I think it's gold, a little bit more about the importance of self-image, self-love, and really embodying it? Because we hear frequently, and I hear it from my clients because I mentor people as well to transform their lives, that they want to delay or they postpone concentrating or prioritizing themselves. They first want to get money, they first want to get that relationship, and they get frustrated. Oh, self-love, self, like everyone just keeps talking about it. I'm just like fed up of it. At first, I'm going to get money, I'm going to have my perfect relationship house, like all the areas, and then I can concentrate on myself. But it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. What you'll find is you won't get the money, you won't get the perfect relationship because, and it comes back to self-image is the way you perceive yourself. Self-love is putting you first. If you get, say you do get the relationship, but you never put yourself first, guess what? That person's never going to put you first. So it's not going to work in the long run. Or say that you don't, if you look at cheating, um, so I've been cheated on by everyone but my husband, and I could blame and shame them and moan about them. And when I know what I know now, I know because I wasn't putting me first, because I didn't love myself, because I wasn't seeing how valuable and unique I was, which I started to do the work before I met my husband. It's why it happened. I'm not excusing other people's behaviour. Should they have done it? No. But I also take responsibility for, well, I didn't put me first. So they didn't put me first. I didn't believe that I was whole as a person. So because I didn't believe I was whole as a person, say I felt that I was 50% whole. Well, that's that 50% that they can't get from me because I don't believe I'm whole as a person. And
Mhm.
so they went to get it from somewhere else. And so this is radical responsibility. And what I'm saying here will probably trigger some people. But I can look now and go, oh, all these situations happened for me to learn, to grow. I've met my husband who I don't have trust issues with. I'm not like I used to, and I hold my hands up to this. I used to check like my ex's phones because I just didn't trust them because I didn't trust myself.
Mhm.
I wouldn't dream of doing it with my husband. Like, just a completely different relationship. So you won't get the relationship you want until you go inwards, until you start to peel back those layers, and still until you start to go, oh, I want to trust myself. I want to love myself. I want to put myself first. Do you have to be 100% healed? There's no such thing. And absolutely not. You can have, I would not say I'm 100% healed, and I have a really strong relationship, and we work through things together and we heal together and we move together. And the more I talk about and do the work I do, he will come home and be like, guess what I manifested? And it's crazy because I'm never trying to change him.
Uh-huh.
And you can change people, by the way, FYI, anyone listening, do not try to change people because it will not work. They will, if they want to change by you changing, they will naturally change. And so, yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. You've got to go inwards first. People don't want to do it because society has told you the external things are more important. But say you did get all of the external things from pressure and hustling hard, you're going to have to keep the pressure and hustling hard is going to be maintained to keep that thing because you're not in alignment with it.
Mhm.
And therefore, you're not going to be happy. You can have all of the stuff, but unless you're happy internally, that stuff will be a
Mhm.
dopamine hit, and then that will be it. And
Mhm.
that's not juicy, you know. That stuff doesn't
Mhm.
sell. That stuff doesn't sell in marketing. Hey, you want to be happy in yourself. People don't want
Mhm.
that. People want the car. People want the relationship.
Mhm.
But you've got to do the inner work first. 100%.
Mhm. And this is where the true like happiness comes, not from like getting those external, well, objects, things.
It's so,
Uh, yeah.
so true. And something about the heart I'd love to share is people think you get heartbroken, your heart closes up. People think they're protecting themselves from having a closed heart. Actually, you're attracting more people to you that could hurt you because you're in this fear-based state. Actually, healing your heart, opening your heart up is really going to support you, inviting love into yourself, inviting the people that you want in your life, the friends you want, the the relationships you want, what the people that might help you in business, whatever it is, that's how you're going to attract them to you. Your heart being closed is going to attract the wrong people to you. It's because you're coming from this fear-based state. And so I would highly recommend people really focusing on opening up the heart, especially if you're spiritual and you're on a spiritual journey, because your heart is such a powerful center to be
Mhm.
able to connect with yourself, to connect with your intuition, to connect with God, to connect with whatever you believe in that you want to connect with.
This is so beautiful. And I truly believe that our heart space is that bridge between the tangible and then intangible world. And even for myself, like I have my psychic mediumship foundation course, and I'm just finishing my first round of this course. And I've set an intention that I was calling in like-minded individuals, people who are heart-centered, based, like very kind, beautiful souls. And the universe delivered. I couldn't be like so much happier. They're like beautiful souls, really kind, really with their hearts opened. And but I would be visualizing as well, expanding my heart space energetically and calling in those like-minded souls. And it does work. So I just wanted to mention that the first card that I pulled, it was the first card, is giving and receiving. Is there anything, do you think a balance exists? And what is the word? What is balance in
Ah,
general?
such an interesting question because balance changes at every stage of life, doesn't it? Sometimes balance is, there's never a 50-50, like a seesaw goes up and down. If you're looking at giving and receiving from a business perspective, you have to give and the receiving will come. So when I started my business, you do give out and you do serve. And rather than saying, how can I make money today? I come from, how can I be of service today? What can
Hmm.
I do to help people today? And that doesn't mean, and this is where you please don't get them confused, that doesn't mean you have to do everything for free. But if you come from, how can I serve people with my content today? How can I serve people with my email? How can I give them something that will get them a win? How can I share my truth with people that will help them? That's where you're going to get people beginning to come into your world. And that's where it's opening yourself up to receive. And I think a lot of people, through to past experiences, find it really hard to receive because they think if I receive something, I have to give in return. And there's this fear of giving,
Hmm.
so they don't want to receive. And so this is where like there's the subconscious work, the energetic work, and opening up your heart to receive from people, to receive them coming in, whether it's through their money, whether it's through their love, whether it's opening up yourself to receive. And this can be really, really hard. I know when I
Hmm.
first started my business, I went part-time in teaching and I had to rely on for a while. I had to open myself up to receive from my husband, monetary wise, as I grew my business. That was so hard because I'd always paid for everything myself. I'd always done everything. I bought my own house, I bought my own car, like I'd done it all myself. So to really embody that feminine energy, to really embody that receiving was so difficult. But when you do, it helps you to receive in different areas. So maybe somebody gives you a compliment
Hmm.
and you go, oh no, like you don't believe it. Just accept it. Begin to receive compliments. Somebody says, your hair is lovely. Thank you. That's all you need to say. Just start to receive in little ways. And as you start to receive and you start to feel more comfortable receiving, you'll open yourself up to more. But when it comes to giving to receive, I do believe in putting yourself first, and it's not selfish to put yourself first. This is self love. If, say,
Hmm.
for example, somebody wants me to pick them up from the airport, but I haven't put myself first and I haven't got enough sleep, and I therefore haven't left myself enough time to fill up the petrol, I'm going to struggle to pick them up. So if you put yourself first, you can actually pour into others so much more. And that is giving. But to give fully, you have to put yourself first. And I think this is in the spiritual world, especially, people think, oh, I need to give first, give, 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 give. But then you burn out, then you feel exhausted, then your energy is rock bottom. Actually, put yourself first, then you can pour into others and then be open to receive. I think there's different seasons of life have different balances of giving and receiving. But I think if you're aware that you're just pouring into everybody else and you're people pleasing, and that is actually at a subconscious level a belief that maybe when you were younger you had to tiptoe around because your parents would criticize you or something, there'll be something deeper under there. Giving 100% without being open to receive, without putting yourself first, you cannot give until you put yourself first. So I would always say, look after you, pour into you, and you will be better at being able to give to your family, to your friends, to your clients, and that will naturally help you to receive more. I hope that answers the question.
No, it does, and I've just got it's my last thought because I can carry on like I'm getting intuitive downloads as you speak. I'm enjoying that conversation, but uh, well, I know it works because since I've been really pouring into myself, then I've been like enjoying giving to others so much more. But even like this morning, I'm recovering from an injury. I have a torn tendon, so I was on my way to the gym today, and my trainer recommended me buying a weighted vest, but it's like 9 kilograms. It's very heavy, and I had to drag it from the upstairs car park, and there was that man all of a sudden who offered to help me, and I was absolutely fine receiving help, and he was so kind. So my reality right now is, and that manifests in this area of my life, is that men open door for me. Men are very kind, but I've been the person or for most of my life where I've been in the masculine energy, like doing everything on my own. And years ago, I would say like, no, I can do it on my own. Don't touch it. So I just wanted to acknowledge that it can manifest in other areas of your life as well, and it's magical.
It's so true. And I think when allowing, you're literally saying by letting that man help you, you're saying, I'm willing to receive. So you're going to receive more in so many different ways in other areas of your life. And also, that person as well, there's always a cause and effect. That person, maybe that's exactly what they needed to be able to be helpful, to see their value in themselves. So not only have you allowed yourself to receive, but you've also benefited somebody else.
Yes. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. And finally, could you share with the viewers and listeners what are your offerings and how can people find you?
Absolutely. I've loved this. Thank you so much for holding this space and allowing me to come onto
Oh,
your
no, you're very
podcast.
welcome.
So if I would, my main protocol is I use Instagram. I is Maria underscore manifestation. There are a couple of free offerings if you want a free money hypnosis to start rescripting the beliefs as you go to bed. And I have a free heal portal as well, where there's like meditations, tapping. Again, there's a lucky girl hypnosis in there. So that's how you can like come into my world through content, through my freebies. If you wanted to dive deeper and you wanted to train your intuition at the end of April time, yeah, April, at the end of April, I'm starting another round of Magnetic AF. And this is a 6 week course where I train you at a scientific level to train your intuition. It's crazy, it's amazing. Everyone has intuition, everyone can train it. But when you train it at a scientific level, you can literally pull percentages for things. You can pull percentages for yourself, you can test in with your higher self, happiness levels, doubt levels, like, and you end up using it I use it every single day for everything I do in my whole entire life. So if you wanted to start training your intuition, that's Magnetic AF, that is starting at the end of May. I do one-on-one reads as well if you wanted a one-on-one read. There's so many ways to enter my world. Alignment Academy is my monthly membership. That's the subconscious healing. So pop me a message on Instagram and we can go from there.
I love it. And I'm going to include all of the links to your social media and any other offerings in the description of this podcast. And I love how you phrase that. If you want to enter my world, like it sounds very magnetic and very magical. I just love it. Once again, like thank you so much for agreeing to have that conversation with me. I truly enjoyed that. It's been an honor to have you here.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having me. It's been an honor to be in your space, and you can just tell by your energy. You've such a beautiful energy. Your clients are so lucky to be in your world and to be being trained by you. Like honestly, when I love the idea of like training your psychic gifts. I think it's so powerful. It's incredible. So thank you for letting me in your space and for being you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to all of the viewers and listeners. Bye bye.
See you, everyone.